What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you already don't know, my name is Bruno. Thank you so much for watching. Before I get started, I want to let everybody know I appreciate so much for all the support I've been getting. It means so much to me. If you're already not following me on Instagram, that's another great way to get a hold of me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll leave everything down below in the description. So for today's video, I have 6 different ways on how to rig a worm. So let's get started. Alright guys, our first rig of the day is gonna be a weighted Texas rig. Now the weighted Texas rig, I use this all the time. It's my #1 lure of choice. I always have it rigged up. Now the way I fish this rig is pretty easy. Throw it past my target and hop, pause, hop, pause, hop, pause. Once it's hopping down on the ground, it does a little thing and it attracts the bass. Now, a lot of people don't use it, but I do. I use a peg stopper. That way I get it straight to the bottom faster. Now you don't have to use a peg stopper, however you want to call it. If you don't, the weight's gonna go down and the worm's gonna slowly go down. Now that's good. That could be a good effective way if the fish are suspended up in the water column, but it's also a great way to have it pegged. Now let's get into detail how to rig a Texas rig. Alright guys, for this weighted Texas rig, all you're gonna need is a hook. I got a 4/0 hook. That's what I normally use. I got a blue tungsten weight, 1/4 ounce, and also I have a peg. Like I said, you don't have to use a peg stopper, but I normally do. The easiest way to rig this worm, start off, I like to hook it up to here. Set the hook out. Keep going through. Twist it. Measure it. So you're gonna want the hook to go out through here. Bend it. Go like that. Now, if you see the hook exposed, to make it weedless, all you gotta do is skin hook it. Pinch it, move it forward, and hook it back. Now it's nice and weedless. And you're also gonna wanna make sure it's nice and straight like this. Next thing you gotta do is put your weight in. Now you can use a lead weight. I like to use a blue tungsten weight. Tungsten weight is awesome. I love tungsten weight. Once I started on tungsten weight, I never went back to lead, unless I'm fishing the river, and that way I don't lose expensive weights. The cool thing about tungsten weight is that you do feel every single rock or branch in the water. Now, like I said, you don't have to use a peg, but a peg is a great way to get the worm all the way down to the bottom. Now, another little trick I've used to get more noise in the water is I use the bead. I use the red bead or a black bead or any kind of bead. Bead doesn't matter. Bead color doesn't matter. That's my personal opinion. Now the bead would go right between the hook and the weight. I would slide this peg stopper up, and you hear that? That's the noise it's gonna make in the water. So like I said, all you gotta do is, once it's down on the ground, all you gotta do is hop it, hop, pause, hop, pause. All right, folks, for our next rig, it's gonna be a weightless Texas rig. Now it's the same thing as the weighted Texas rig, except for weight. You get the same thing, hop, pause, hop, pause. Now the thing about weightless Texas rig is it doesn't go straight to the bottom right away. It takes this little time going down with doing this little trick with his tail, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna catch that bass going down. But if you make it all the way down to the bottom, just do a little hop, pause, hop, pause. Now let's get into detail on how to rig this weightless worm. Now for this rig, it's gonna be the same thing as the previous rig before, except it doesn't have a weight. Now it's all the same thing. You can use an extra wide gap hook it through the nose, twist, measure it, hook it, and then skin hook it, and make sure it's nice and straight. Now, cool. Now, the thing about this, like I said, as it goes down, it's going to go down slowly, and it's going to make the tail dance. And you'll probably 9 times out of 10 get a bite on the way down. But if you don't and you hit the ground, all you gotta do is hop, 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 pause, hop, hop, pause. Now the next rigs we're gonna be talking about is a little more finesse style. So the first rig we're gonna be talking about is a shaky head. Now a shaky head is a great way to get those lethargic bass to bite. Now how I retrieve the shaky head, all it is throw it past my target. Say my target is a brush pile or some structure. I throw it past my target, let it go all the way to the bottom. And once it's at the bottom, the worm is going to be suspended up in the air, or the tail is going to be suspended up in the air, and it's going to be doing a little show for the bass. Now, if you don't catch them right away, you can do a little hop, hop, let the worm do his thing with the tail, do another couple hops, do a little tail dance. Now, there's a lot of times where I really want to catch bass and I overwork it. I do a hop, hop, pause for like 1 second, 1 millisecond, and hop, hop. Now, the bass wants to see a little presentation. So my tip is do not overwork this rig. Now, let's get into detail on how to rig this worm. So for the shaky head, I like to use this mustad hook. Put in the lock. Twist, twist, twist. And then make it weedless. Now once it's at the bottom, like I said, the tail has a lot of salt, so it would be floating. So all you gotta do is hop, hop, pause. This is a finesse approach, a 5-second pause. Hop, hop, pause, and you'll catch a bass. All right, y'all. Next rig we're gonna be talking about is the Ned Rig. Now, this little tiny bait will catch you quantities. It might catch you quality bass as well, even though it's a small presentation. All a Ned Rig is you got a mushroom head jig and a small worm. Now, Z-Man did come up with a TRD worm, which is great with their mushroom head jigs. This right here is the X-Zone's Ned Rig, which is great. It has a lot of salt, so the end of the worm is going to be standing up. So the way I retrieve this worm is throw it past my target of choice and just do a hop, hop. I pause. Since they are being finicky, I pause for 5 seconds and do a little more hops. I pause for 5 seconds, do a little more hops. See, as you can see right now, the tail end of the worm is shaking a lot. So in the water, it's going to be doing the same thing. If the hopping doesn't work, just drag it. Drag, pause, drag, pause, drag, pause. That can also catch you more fish. Now, the places I would throw this would be on flat grounds, rocks. Now let's get into detail how I rig this worm. Now for the Ned Rig, all you're gonna need is a mushroom head with a hook keeper or not, and then a small profile stick bait. All you gotta do is measure it. Don't forget you have a hook keeper to keep the worm in place, so you can get multiple catches on this worm. Damn, that's it. You got your mushroom head, hook keeper. Now the worm's not going anywhere. You got the exposed hook. All it is, since like I said, this is a finesse type rig. On the way down, it's gonna do a little tail dance. It's gonna hit the floor. All you gotta do is hop, hop, pause a couple seconds, hop, hop, and keep pausing. Or you can just drag it while the tail does this little dance. All right, y'all, the next rig we're gonna be talking about is the Wacky Rig. That's Wacky Rig, awesome finesse way to catch finicky bass. All it is a worm hooked right in the middle, a small hook. The hook right now I have does have weed guards. That's another way you can rig it as well. All you do throw it past your target, let it sink all the way down. It's gonna give you a more natural presentation going down. If you don't catch a bass on the way down and you hit the bottom, all you gotta do is give it a couple twitches. As you can see here, it has a lot of movement. So all you do is twitch, pause, about 5 seconds because the fish are still being lethargic. Twitch, pause, twitch, pause. And see, as you can see here, it has a lot of movement. So the water's gonna be doing the same thing. Now, if you don't catch a bass on the way down, that's when you start twitching. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be catching a bass on the way down. Now let's get into detail on how to rig this worm. All right, so for the wacky rig, you're gonna need your stick bait and a hook. So for this hook, I have the weed guards on. I do fish a lot of ponds with weeds. So all you gotta do to rig this up is fold it in half. That's gonna be your hook point right here. And you're gonna hook it right through the middle. And bam, you got yourself a wacky rig. Now there's other ways you could do it. You could put an O-ring on it. That way you can keep your worm for multiple catches. If you're lucky enough, you might have this worm for about 2 catches, maybe, if you're lucky. Like I said, this worm is more of a natural style rig. Once you cast it past your target, it's gonna flow down and it's gonna do this little action. Once you hit the bottom, it's gonna be doing the same thing. Just like that. All you're gonna wanna do, once it hits the bottom, is you're gonna give it a couple twitches, like twitch, pause, twitch, pause, and so forth until you catch the bass. All right, y'all. Now the last rig we're gonna be talking about is the drop shot. Now, this drop shot is also a lifesaver during the dead heat of summer, especially in my local pond, which is super pressured. Now, normally I would have a foot between the weight and the worm itself, but for demonstration purposes, I just rigged it up like this. All it is you have a drop shot weight. The drop shot weight is meant to, so you won't get snagged at the bottom. This weight will rip off and just put another weight on it. It does get a little pricey, but it's worth it. Now for the rigging of the worm, all you gotta do is hook it through the nose of the worm and just let it dance. Just let it dance. Now you do have to, I'll go into detail, but you do have to make sure the hook is facing up. Now let's get into detail how to rig this worm. All right guys, for this next rig, all you're gonna need is your stake bait, drop shot, and your circle hook. All right. So you want to make sure you got your end of your line here. You want to give about a foot. So you're gonna get your hook. You're gonna do a little Palomar knot, and bam, you got yourself a hook. So next you're gonna want to get your drop shot and put it about a foot from the weight. So the cool thing about this drop shot weights is that all you gotta do is snap it in place and it doesn't go anywhere until you get snagged. Then that's when it gets a little pricey. You just break off the weight. The next thing you want to do is get your worm and just nose hook it. Just like so. Bam. So there you go. Now if your hook is facing down, all you got to do before you put your weight on is just get your tag in and just run it through the eye of the hook one more time until your hook point is facing up. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you guys are barely getting into bass fishing, I hope you guys learned something. If you guys have been fishing for a while and learned something new and you want to try it, awesome. I had so much fun making this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comment section. Now before I go, I want to thank everybody for watching, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll leave everything down below. Well, I'll see you guys next time on another video. Peace.